So today we're going to talk about engineering design process. So what is the topic?
Engineering design process.
So do you have any idea why we need this? Like why we need to go through engineering design process? So why we need this? Engineering design process is necessary to solve a problem, right? So you're going through a process to solve a problem. So to solve a problem, you need some steps, right? So we're gonna look at the steps. So here we have like 8 steps. We're gonna talk about the first 4 steps. So the first 4 steps are detect a problem. So first, obviously, you need a problem, right? Otherwise, what are you gonna solve? So first thing is detect a problem. The second one is brainstorm and research. So you're gonna find more information about the problem. The third one is specify constraints. So what are the problems? So let's say you found a solution. You need to now think about what are the problems. If I choose this solution, we need to solve the problem, or there are some more issues with it. That's you're gonna think about. The second step, third step, and the fourth step is explore possibilities and select an approach. So let's say you have found 3, 4 solutions, right? You're gonna choose one of them by researching about them. You're talking with other engineers. So you are like the engineers, right? You are going to solve a problem. So you're gonna research about the problem. You're gonna find out the solutions. Let's say 4 or 5 solutions. But you're gonna choose one of them because that's the best solution, right? So again, 4 steps. What are the steps? I want you to repeat the steps. The first one is what? Detect a problem. Second one?
Brainstorm and research.
Third one?
Specify constraints.
And the last one?
Explore possibilities and select.
Very good. So now we're going to look at detect a problem. So I already set up a problem. So you can see there is a cute dog, right? So what's the problem with the dog? Yes. So that's the problem. So it doesn't have front legs. That's that, right? So the owner of the dog is contacting some engineering company saying, can you help my dog to walk, right? So you are the engineers now. You need to come up with a solution to solve this problem, right? So that's the first step. Detect a problem. So you have found a problem. So what's the problem? Yes. Yeah. So that's a problem. So now we are going to the next step. The next step is brainstorm and research. So I want you to think for a minute. So what do you think about this problem? So 1 minute for thinking. So think about this problem. So Max doesn't have front legs, and you are all engineers sitting here thinking about how we can solve this problem. This is a 3D printing class. So think about what you have learned so far, what you can do with your skills. So 1 minute. Okay? Think about it. If you have any ideas, let me know. You can raise your hand. Okay. Yes. Yes. What's your solution? Yes, that's the one solution. So we can print something. Do you know the specific term that we use if we want to print something? What is it called? You know, have you heard of the term called prosthetic device, prosthetic leg? So that's one of the solutions. So we can print what? Yes. Very good. So yeah, that would be another solution. So now we have 2 solutions, right? So one is a prosthetic leg, and you said we can use some kind of wheels, right? So 2 solutions, but which one we're gonna choose? So let's look at the next step. The next step is specify constraints. So what are the problems? So we have found 2 solutions, but now we need to think about the problems. So now you can see, so to find out the problems, what do you need to think? you have to think about the dog, right? So the issues are how a dog walks. You need to know how it walks, right? Otherwise, how you can bend the leg. You need to know how it's bending its knee, right? And where, how far is it from the body. You need to know the exact length, right? If you don't know that, you cannot make a device for it. And you need to know where are the joints. What should be the length of the prosthetic leg or the width, right? Also materials, what kind of materials you're going to use. So we have steel, we use wood or plastic. So you're going to choose one of them, right? And also you need to think about the cost. Because the engineering company, they don't want to spend a lot of money, right? They want to spend a minimum, right? So that they can make profit from it. So you're the engineers, you have to think about what kind of materials they can use. So look at the skeleton, you can see where are the joints, right? So there is one joint here, right? There is another joint here. So when you are building the leg, you need to think about those joints, right? Yes, question.
Remember we have like a shoulder bone and everything?
Okay, sorry.
You know how we have like a shoulder?
Yes.
Does he have like the bone just like that arm? Or is it just
So we call it like ball and socket. So when you're building the legs, you need to think how the dog is going to walk, how it's going to bend the knees like this or like this, right? So you have to think about those. So these are the problems. You need to. So you have a solution, but you need to think about what are the problems. Where should be the joints? This kind of things. Okay, so that's the third step. And what was the fourth step? Anyone remember? Yes. Yeah, let's look at that solution. Next one is explore possibilities and select one approach. Right? So you have some solution in your mind, right? But you have to choose one, correct? And then you have to compare the solution. So one of the solution is this. So you can see the leg is like this. It's a flexible leg, but you have different format. And then the second one is this, right? There is another one, the width that you mentioned, right? So we have three different solutions, right? But we need to choose one of them. Yes.
I think for like the wheel one, like we usually smaller dog.
So that's what you are going to think, right? Whether you're going to choose width or straight legs or flexible legs. So you need to think which one is the best. And then you're going to choose one of them and you're going to pick one of them, right? So these are the 4 steps. So what are the 4 steps? Let's see if you have remembered them. First one? Yes.
Find the problem.
Find the problem. So what's the problem?
Um,
Max doesn't have front legs, right? Second step is what? Researching or brainstorming. So what are the possible solutions, right? Third step from this side. Yes. What's the third step? Specify constant. So what are the problems with the solutions, right? You have to think about the dog, how it walks, right? Where are the joints? You have to think about the problem. The last one is this table. So we have how many solutions we have? 3 different solutions, but we have to choose one because the engineering company will choose one, right? Okay, so these are the steps. So you have learned what? 4 steps. Congrats, you have learned 4 steps to solve an engineering problem. Yes, question. Learn. You have learned. The last one. Yes, question. I didn't hear you. Design? Yes. Alright, so you have learned all the 4 steps.